Hey, it's Vicky, and guess what time it is? It's time for me to get out the trusty old wine cup and do another 100 Epic Reads book and vlog it for you guys. So if you guys are not familiar with this series that I have been doing on my channel, it's a series that I'm doing where I purchased last year a 100 Epic Reads of a Lifetime poster, and it's basically a poster that has 100 books that are apparently epic, or ones that you should try to read in your lifetime or something. And when you have read the book, you scratch it off. It's like a little scratch off, and it reveals like a fun little cover. And I decided to kind of make a vlog series out of it. I have read now over half of them, which is really exciting. The majority of the books on the poster are classics, and I'm actually happy about that because I am trying to read more classics in my reading. So yeah, so basically what I do is I do two picks out of here, out of my little cup, and I decide between those two which one I'm gonna do next. So let's just get into it right away. And like always, I like to do two colors. I don't know why, I just do. So let's see, let's do this orange color and let's do green. Okay, so the first pick is oh, it's stuck. Okay, I'm telling you guys right now, this is gonna be a no for me right now. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. And the reason I'm automatically saying no, although what if the other one's long too? Oh God, I don't know. Anyways, is because the last episode that I did for this series, I read Don Quixote, and that was a 940-page book. It was very long. It took me a very long time to read. Though it was enjoyable, I gave it 3.5 stars. I said, okay, the next pick, I hope it's not a big one because I need a break from the big ones. And then I picked The Count of Monte Cristo, which is also a big book, but just in case they're both end up being big, I need to, I need to read up on what it is. So, but I remember this is a long book. Like, okay, when I pull it up on Goodreads, this Penguin Classics edition, what is happening, is 1,276 pages. Oh, okay. But let's read the synopsis. Thrown in prison for a crime he has not committed, Edmond Dantes is confined to the grim fortress of If. There he learns of a great hoard of treasure hidden on the Isle of Monte Cristo, and he becomes determined not only to escape, but also to unearth the treasure and use it to plot the destruction of the 3 men responsible for his incarceration. Dumas' epic tale of suffering and retribution, inspired by a real-life case of wrongful imprisonment, was a huge popular success when it was first serialized in the 1840s. And this particular edition is translated by the edition that I pulled up on Goodreads. So it is a translated work, and yeah, this is like one of those like classic revenge stories that I really do want to read. I really do, but I just read a really big book, so I don't know. This one has also a 4.27 rating on Goodreads, which is pretty good, and it has 825,000 ratings. So lots of people have read this, and it seems have enjoyed it. So I don't know, guys. If the next book is big as well, I might cry here on camera. So yeah, okay, let's see what the next one is. Okay, so the next one is The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster. So funny, I just went to a book sale and picked up a copy of this book. Let's pull up the synopsis and all the info though. But I think that's our winner this go around. But let me pull it up and give you the details. So The Phantom Tollbooth has a 4.18 rating, which is also pretty good, with 269,000 ratings. And here is the synopsis. This beloved story, first published more than 50 years ago, introduces readers to Milo and his adventures in the lands beyond. For Milo, everything's a bore. When a Tollbooth mysteriously appears in his room, he drives through only because he's got nothing better to do. But on the other side, things seem different. Milo visits the Island of Conclusions. You get there by jumping. Fun. Learns about time from a ticking watchdog named Talk, and even embarks on a quest to rescue Rhyme and Reason. Somewhere along the way, Milo realizes something astonishing. Life is far from dull. In fact, it's exciting beyond his wildest dreams. So, being that I know it's not a chunky book, and it's one that I just picked up, I think I'm gonna do the Phantom Tollbooth. Let me go grab the copy that I have, because like I said, I literally just hauled it. So here it is. It's very cute. I like the cover. When I saw this at the book sale, I picked it up because I recognized it as being one of the ones on the poster. And so it's just kind of like fate that this is the next one that I picked. This is, I don't know if I mentioned or if it's said in the synopsis, this is a middle grade novel, I believe. So it'll be definitely like a change from what I have been doing in this series, because like I said, in the last one, I read Don Quixote. In the video before that, I read The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway, another classic. That one I didn't enjoy so much. And then the first one, I read Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, which was another classic. So this one, though it is, I think, considered a classic, it's middle grade, so it's just different. It's gonna be different, but I think it's gonna be fun. And I'm excited to dive into this one. It has some cute illustrations throughout. So yeah, I am going to get started on this one hopefully soon. And when I have an update to give you guys, I will let you know. So I'm about 40 pages in to the Phantom Tollbooth, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's honestly giving me Alice in Wonderland sort of vibes, because it's about a kid, a little boy who is kind of just like bored and is sitting in his house one day, and this Tollbooth appears in his bedroom, and it takes him to this land called, I have to look at it because there's a map in here, which is super fun. The land, I don't know what it's actually, it's called like the Kingdom of Wisdom. So there's like all these places, and it's just this really interesting land where he's already met some really kind of quirky, sort of weird characters. He doesn't really know where he is or like what's going on. So it kind of has the same vibe in that sense as like Alice in Wonderland, because similarly Alice like ends up in Wonderland and it's just really wacky and she's just trying to make sense of it all. And that's kind of what's happening with Milo, because he gets into this land, and what makes it really fun so far is like it does just have sort of a quirky feel to it, and like the play on words is also kind of similar to Alice in Wonderland, like the kind of like playing with language that Lewis Carroll did in Alice in Wonderland, Norton Jester's doing in this book. Like for example, the part I just read, he gets to, I have to look at the map. He gets to Dictionopolis, which is kind of like the capital of this land, whatever. And there is a word market going on where like you can literally trade in or return words. So like if let's say you got a word and you didn't use it in any way, you can trade it in for a different word. It's making things tangible that are not tangible. And it's just interesting. And then there's been a couple of interesting characters, like in the very beginning, he goes through this part of the kingdom called the Doldrums, and it's kind of like where boredom and like that sort of thing happens. So like he gets in there and he's just like mindlessly going around and not doing anything, and like all of the little creatures that live there are called, I think it was like lethargians or something like that, where they're just like laying around and like there's like a part where like they talk about like what their schedule is for the day, and it's just really funny. Like they talk about how like they're like, okay, from, you know, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we linger and loiter. From 2 to 2:30, we take our early afternoon nap. From 2:30 to 3:30, we put off for tomorrow what we could have done today and stuff like that. So, and then he gets out of there by thinking, by like using his brain and like thinking about stuff, and that's kind of how he escapes that area. And then there's another character that he just met. It's a dog, it's a watchdog. So again, kind of like a play on words, because he's a dog that literally the whole like middle of his body is a clock, and his name is Tak. And basically he is there in this land to make sure that people are not wasting time. So it's just like that kind of stuff where it's like playing with like phrases that we often use, but making them like tangible and like making them a reality. So it's just, it's kind of quirky, but it's fun and I like it. So I'm already having a lot of fun with it. It also, this edition also has like fun illustrations kind of like scattered throughout. So like, I'm trying to find the, like, so here's a picture of Tak. Yeah, he's really cute. And so yeah, before like getting the 100 Epic Reads poster, I don't think I've ever heard of this book. But I feel like if I had read this book as a child, I would have thought it was fun. Though I think some of the stuff might have gone over my head. Similarly to like Alice in Wonderland, I have approached that book differently as an adult and have had more, you know, like more insights into it and everything. So I think that's kind of what's happening here too. But this book is fun. It's it's quirky, it's weird, but it's interesting. So yeah, I don't know how I've never heard of this, but it's really cute. And I don't know if there is a film adaptation of this anywhere, but I think it would be fun. It would be fun to watch. So, I mean, this book is, I want to say it was published in like the 60s. Yeah, 1961. So I feel like there has to be an adaptation out there somewhere. But anyway, yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. And I can't wait to see what happens. Hey, so I don't have a update for the Phantom Tollbooth, but I did get some bookish mail that I wanted to share with you guys. I also got a letter from my nephew. He is in basic training right now for the Army, and I wrote him a letter last week, cause, you know, for the first time, and he wrote me back, and it just made my heart really happy. I'm just so proud of him. And it's just kind of fun to write letters, because who does that anymore? But, so yeah, it's fun. I have like a new pen pal for the time being. But I did get some bookish packages. These are used books, a couple from Thrift Books, and then this one is from, I ordered it off of Abe Books, but it was from like a, you know, independent seller or whatever. And I'm really curious what the condition's gonna be like, because you know how when you buy used books and they say, oh, it's good, it's like, okay, but is it my standard of good? How are they gonna be? I don't know. So, but I really wanted these books for nostalgic purposes. They're books that I read as a middle grade reader, upper elementary, maybe early middle school, and I wanted them. So, and then there was a couple extra other ones too, but, okay, so the ones from Thrift Books, let's see how they turned out. Oh, wow. They're actually in really good shape. Wow, okay, so the first one, I had to buy some Fear Street. You know that I love my Goosebumps and my Fear Street, and this one I had, as a kid, and I got rid of it, which again, I've talked about before that I'm so mad at myself. I got rid of all my books. But I really liked this one, and so I wanted to get it back and maybe reread it. I don't know, maybe this fall could be fun, but it's Bad Moonlight, and it's about a girl, if all I remember is, it's about a girl who like joins a rock band as like a singer, I'm assuming by the cover. And then the other one is a Christopher Pike book. And I got this one because I remember one Christmas I got a box set. My parents got me a box set of Christopher Pike books. It had 3 books in it. It had The Midnight Club, which I actually just bought also, but I bought it new because of the Netflix adaptation that's coming. I was like, I have to reread The Midnight Club. so I can watch the adaptation. But anyways, the box set had that. It had The Last Vampire, which I couldn't find used as of right now. And then it also had this one, The Wicked Heart, which, if I remember right, was about a teen serial killer. And it's from his perspective, if I remember right. So I was like, I gotta give this a reread. And like, I'm really impressed. I thought that, you know, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes you get good books and they're not good. But these both look decent. And then the other one I got from Thrift Books is one that I'm gonna read at Christmas time. I wanted to get a Christmas book to read. And this one's called The White Christmas Inn by Colleen Wright. It was recommended to me because I read a Christmas book last Christmas and enjoyed it, but I do struggle with finding Christmas books because a lot of them have a romance. They're usually like romance books just set at Christmas, and so I'm not usually, you guys know I'm not usually a big fan of romance books. And somebody recommended this one though, because it's like bookish in Christmas. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. And also this one is also in good shape. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, and then I got one more. If I remember right, this is also a Fear Street book. Again, one that, if memory serves me, this was the very first Fear Street super chiller that I ever read. And I remember because I was at Arbor Drugs with my mom, which is, I don't even think Arbor Drugs is around anymore. Now it's more like CVS. But back in the day, it was Arbor Drugs. And they had like one of those turning styles of just random paperbacks. And this was on there. And so my mom bought it for me. And I remember reading it and liking it. Oh, it's huge though. It's a lot bigger than I remember, like the size of it. But this is Broken Hearts. It's very big, like especially if you compare it to like the typical Fear Street size. It's kind of bigger, but I don't hate it. It's in really good shape as well. This is great. And all I remember about this one is it's like Valentine's Day themed or something. I don't know. Yeah, Valentine's Day can be killer. So I'll probably read this one around Valentine's Day just because. But again, nostalgia. I read this. I remember reading this. I remember getting it at the like I said, the drugstore. And I wanted it back on my shelves. So I got it. So yeah, that's my book haul. That's my book mail for today. Very exciting. And yeah, like I said, I don't have anything to report for the Phantom Tollbooth. But when I do, I will check back in. About 100 pages left of the Phantom Tollbooth, and I am thoroughly enjoying this book. It's just the right kind of, like, there's just interesting playing with words and language and turns of phrase. Some of the messaging in here is really fun and interesting, like, because the whole like the basic plot is that this little boy, Milo, he shows up at this land and basically is given this task to go rescue these two princesses, Rhyme and Reason, because since they've been gone from this land, basically things just don't make sense anymore. There's no rhyme or reason, and they need them back. And it's just like little funny word plays like that that just make it fun to read. And I do have to say though, I'm reading this obviously as an adult, and I think my kids would really have fun with this. However, I do think some of because it deals so much with language, some of the like the puns and stuff like that, they might not fully grasp because they're young. And I'm not sure what the age range is for this, but as an adult, obviously, I pick up on all of it. And so I, get a good chuckle out of it. But I think some of the stuff would go over my kid's head, just because you kind of have to, have a more extended vocabulary, and kids are still learning that stuff. So, but I am, like I said, thoroughly enjoying this. I think it's great. And I guess there is a movie out there, an animated movie somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to try to find it because some of the stuff would be really cool to see, I think, in a film. Like there's a whole scene in here where he comes across this huge orchestra, but they when they play their instruments, they create color. And so like the main part of the scene is that like the sun is coming up and they're making it happen by playing their instruments, playing the music, and it's creating the colors that make the sunrise so pretty. And like just like that kind of stuff, that kind of imagery, I think would be cool to see in a film. And that's just like the kind of stuff that goes on in this book where you're just like, okay, because you'd think that they would be more responsible for sound, but no, they're not. So yeah, this is good. And like I said, I really want to get my hands on the movie. So yeah, I have about 100 pages left. So hopefully I will be finishing this very, very soon. And I can give you my final thoughts on it and wrap up this vlog. Alright, so I have officially finished The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster, and I am going to go ahead and give this a 4-star rating. I really enjoyed this. I think, like I said in the beginning of the vlog, it really reminded me of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland in the sense that, and maybe even a little bit of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, where you have this kid who ends up in this like strange land, and they're just sort of going from place to place within this land, meeting different people and residents of the place, and just trying to figure everything out. And I just really enjoy stories like that. I think they're fun. I think they're entertaining. I love the idea of being transported to another place, a magical place, a different place. It just really gets the imagination going. And so yeah, as a kid, I would have definitely loved this. I loved it as an adult. And I liked just sort of the overall kind of plot that was happening, because there is an overarching plot, a mission, if you will, that the main character is on, and I liked that. I thought that it was good. The ending was good. It had a good lesson just about basically how to fight boredom, basically, and keep yourself occupied, and realizing that there are plenty of things within your world, your life, that can keep you busy and keep you happy. And there's tons of things to explore, tons of things to find out and experience. And so I just really liked those themes. I thought that they were good and I liked it. So yeah, this is 4 stars. And like I said, if you are a fan of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland or The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or any books like that, I think you would like this. And I can see why it is on this 100 Epic Reads poster, because though this was written in 1961 or published in 1961, I feel like it's timeless. You can read it in 2022 and it doesn't seem like it's a book that is that old. And I think kids of all, different times would enjoy this and get something out of it. And so I can definitely see why this is like a children's classic, why it was on this list, and I'm glad that I read it. Alright guys, so that wraps up this episode of the 100 Epic Reads for me. I will be coming at you guys soon with another one of these installments. I'm really curious to see what I'm gonna pick next. I hope you guys are too, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will chat with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.